and welcome to our video about how we price one-off yearly bookkeeping ready for self-assessment action. So the client decided he doesn't want to do his own bookkeeping for the year, which there's always an option. And he said, no, take it out of my hands, take me out of my misery. Can you please do it for me? So his financial year will finish in March. And then we are already taking over his books, and he's slowly providing us the information, the sales invoices, purchase invoices, and bank accounts. Obviously, we agree that he will have a bank account only for the business, separate from his private, so that makes things not even cheaper, but a bit more transparent. You know where you're up to with your cash flow. So he doesn't require monthly bookkeeping as yet, but we advise of at least a quarterly bookkeeping, so he knows where he's up to. But the conversation went as follows. So he's got about 200 items for us to process, which comes to purchase invoices and sales invoices. So he's going to be posting these through DEXT. DEXT is a fantastic facility. He will be using his cell phone, where he's going to be taking a picture of all the receipts. He will also be provided with a DEXT designated email address, where he will be forwarding any invoices he received to his email account, but also for future. So he can give his designated DEXT email address to his suppliers, so they can directly email the invoices to us, ready for processing for next year. And again, either monthly, quarterly, or annually, they can sit there for the whole year until we ready to process it. But also DEXT for the future, we gave this account to clients for purposes of downloading invoices automatically from your account, like Virgin and Amazon and BT, TalkTalk, any suppliers like Screwfix, Toolstation, where you provide your email address once, and DEXT will use Fetch to download any new invoice to the system. So that saves an immense amount of time. And obviously, what we require from the client, and he was happy to take picture of the document in a form that is legible, the whole receipts included. But also, we are happy to take a bag full of folded paperwork. We'll do that, but obviously there's a different charge. So with the respect of this guy, he's happy to go paperless. He's given us the information in the form we require for us to be able to deliver a good job. He's given us 12 months of bank account, which altogether have got about 260 items for the whole year. It's only this little amount because he keeps his bank account separate from his private bank account. That works out much cheaper. We've been given 1,500 items on a bank account because the client used his private and business account all together in one, which makes things less transparent. You don't know where you're up to with your cash flow, how profitable the business is. So we do recommend to keep it separate. And he only has one bank account, so he's not using Go Cardless for direct debit. He's not using a credit card. He is not using SumUp either for card payments. So once we process all the bookkeeping of his, he also needs us to put these on XERO software. We obviously not going to charge for the whole year of XERO, but we will start charging XERO from the first day of bookkeeping. He will start using XERO for sending his invoices. It's great for bank feeds and reconciliation in general, and then chasing suppliers if you do sell on credit, chasing clients if you sell on credit, and then gives you an idea where you're up to on a monthly, quarterly basis. And DEXT, DEXT usually charges about £20 a month, but we're going to charge from the day of usage £5 a month for the client to use on a monthly basis. So even though he wishes to have the bookkeeping process once a year. He will have access to XERO to send his invoices out, and DEXT to upload any receipt invoices to on a monthly basis, and then we will process it at the end of the year. And also he asked if we can prepare his self-assessment action return. So this will be all in his quote. He's only self-employed. He's got no additional income. So, and he's got only one self-employment. So coming to the calculation for all the work, obviously it works out cheaper to do once a year, but that's what clients want. He wants it once a year. He's not interested in any analysis and profitability and pricing. So we just do the compliance work, and that would go. The charges will be as follows. So starting first month from March, we are going to charge for XERO and DEXT. This is heavily discounted DEXT, but we want clients to be paperless. He wants us to prepare his self-assessment tax return for his self-employment. So that includes, as mentioned in previously, that would include whole meeting, going through the calculation, profit and loss account. We have a look at the tax liability. We also suggest if there's anything missing, like we can't see any insurance or there's no internet charges, and they say, oh yeah, I'm paying from my personal bank account. So we will ask questions for things that may be missing. We will go through the items, just make sure the client is taking advantage of the tax deductible expenses. But it could be the other way around. We may not need to put all the expenses through because client wants to apply for a mortgage. So he wants to show substantial income to be able to get a mortgage. So we discussed what's the purpose of the self-assessment tax return to be the way a client needs. But obviously, you know, what's allowable. So looking at the items the client needs processing, this covers all the invoices in and out to be processed through DEXT. This covers the bank account items a whole year to be processed, and reconciling it. So that means we're going to have a look at the bank account, if it's been uploaded correctly. Also, he might not necessarily provide us all the receipts for all the items in the bank account, so there will be back and forth communication for missing documentation and explanation. Once it's all provided, we produce a bank reconciliation report that everything is the way it should be, and then from this we derive the profit loss account, and then further tax calculation, and then further tax forms once the client is happy with the numbers. Obviously, we only send the invoice after the work is completed. Unless the amount of work is substantial, we might ask for payment halfway through. And then once you're happy with the pricing, this discussion goes live while we're having a meeting together, so we can add some services, we can deduct some services, and we will send you the proposal whilst we having the meeting. And that's probably it. And we will send you our proposal for the paperwork and the self-assessment tax return. So the proposal looks as follows. I'm just going to go to the next screen. So all the information on the self-assessment tax return will be the services as stated. So that will be the monthly set up on direct debit. This will be the tax return and all the paperwork processed. And then we'll just go through the itemization of the services, what software we're using, and again describing. So that will be the number of items and receipts on a monthly basis when it comes to DEXT, and then anything about self-assessment Action 10 and the appendix required, and then one of bank reconciliation paperwork, a bank reconciliation reporting. You will receive the whole proposal, but also you received our letter of engagement, where we go through our responsibilities and your responsibilities as a client, and you will receive that with the proposal. Once once we all agreed, we hit the send button, and then it will come to your email address, and the instructions are quite straightforward. Once the proposal is accepted, you will be asked to provide your bank details. We're not going to collect any money until we send our invoice, and money will be collected on a due date, which is usually 14 days after the date of the invoice. However, you can always pay early if you want to submit the tax return earlier, because we won't submit it until we get the signed document and payment hits our bank account. So if you pay by bank transfer, which you obviously can, details will be on the invoice. We will cancel the direct debit. So thank you for the time you've gone through this video, and then if you have any questions, please contact us on via LinkedIn, via Calendly, to reserve a quick meeting, or you can always give us a ring. Thank you. Bye.